So I'm going to tell just a short little story to talk about what true accountability looks like and ultimate accountability. So as a SEAL, so I spent 10 years as an officer in the SEAL teams from 1998 to 2008. And if you know your history, especially because the team I chose to go to was responsible for the Middle East, very busy time to be a SEAL during those time frames. Also, I didn't choose not to be a SEAL anymore. I got injured and medically retired after a series of surgeries. And so I might still be doing it. Actually, they might have kicked me out at this point because I'm getting a little older, but being able to be in that environment has been amazing. So in that environment, I want to share one little piece about accountability. We have to do, oftentimes to get into very dangerous situations, we have to do parachute jumps. So they're called halo jumps, where you're jumping out at a high altitude and then you're opening up right above the ground to get through any radar stuff. And we do almost all of our best work at night. So we're doing halo jumps at night. So jumping out of a plane at 25,000 feet on oxygen by yourself is dangerous, much less with 16 other people, much less with 16 other people in the middle of the night over a bad part of the world. So very, very dangerous way to get to your job. Like, it's a dangerous commute. Within this, I want to talk about one particular point of it. So you know on boots, you have those little metal hooks that the laces go into? So before you do one of these jumps, within this jump, you have to put a piece of tape over that hook. Anyone have an idea why? No, you lose a boot, that might be bad, but not life-threatening. Say you jump out and you open up your chutes. You got 16 guys in the pitch black with no lights on, right? Because bad guys could see the lights. If we run into each other and I go through their lines that suspend the parachute to the harness and that line gets hooked on my boot look, we're both going to fall to our death. So every day before a jump, or every night right before a jump, I'd have to put 4 pieces of tape on my left boot and 4 pieces of tape on my right boot. If I didn't, say I forgot that day, because I had other stuff going on, that's a life and death decision. How many pieces of tape, just quote unquote pieces of tape, do you think went into preparation for a mission? Like, the fact that not putting tape on a boot hook is a life and death choice, what about getting your gear prepped, knowing your rally points, knowing all of the call signs that you need for the radio, knowing your tactics, knowing your target? How many are there? There's literally 1,000. So there's 1,000 details before we even step foot on the airplane out of the gate that if we don't do it, just one of those, like, oh, you were up a little too late, or you were distracted and you didn't put the tape on, well, you just died and most likely killed someone else. How's that for accountability? Do you think someone had to remind me to put tape on my boots? No, not once. Do you think because I was an officer, so I was responsible for my team, do you think I had to check their boots? No. Did I check their boots? Because who's responsible for that, them or me? Me, ultimately, from very basic position, right? If one of those guys had a bad day, forgot to tape their boot, killed someone else on the team, whose fault is that? Ultimately, it's mine. That's another layer of accountability on top of it. So this is the position, this is the environment that I'm going to speak to you today about leadership. Sifu talked about guys that write leadership books from the corporate world. Do you think they understand accountability and responsibility at that level? And what if one of you kind of forgot to put the tape on your boot before the morning of closing? No one's going to die, right? So this is a whole nother level of leadership teams and high performance.